So, Professor Brinkley, we have heard quite a bit in recent days about the history of tariffs, Smoot Hawley and the rest. President Trump speaks approvingly of President McKinley, among others, in terms of how he views the world, at least this time around. Talk to us about the historical parallels that you see, but also just your observations about how the disruption here, both at home and abroad, from what Trump is doing, particularly on the tariffs.
Well, it was just chaos and confusion reigning all over the world yesterday, and I suspect it'll happen today. Presidents have tariffs in their toolkit. Barack Obama, for example, raised 35% tariffs on China for tires. But it's a very targeted issue, a targeted problem. We were looking at it in the 1970s when Detroit was going down and we were having all the Japanese cars come in, and presidents are trying to understand how to deal with that particular problem. This is just Trump gone hog wild, willy-nilly. Nobody knows what's going on, even at the White House. I mean, when they announced this, Trump in the Rose Garden had his whole chart next to him. Fair enough. Let's look at the tariff chart, but go pull up the White House website and you'll see something totally different on tariff numbers. They don't know what they're doing. We are dealing with a dangerous amateur hour in this White House, and everybody's lives are going to be affected by this, because if this kicks in like we think, you're going to see prices of smartphones go up, produce. Avocados is the one people are mainly focused on, but any kind of generic medicine that you might need to have a cheaper type of prescription than you would get normally from your pharmacy. One could go on and on. This could unravel, and nobody has confidence that Trump really knows what he's doing. He just wants to do something audacious and big.
John Heilemann on Wall Street, there was a great deal of relief when Scott Bessent was named Treasury Secretary. A lot of the big banks and a lot of the big firms on Wall Street all said, hey, he's a reasonable, rational guy, very good voice to have around Donald Trump. But he has said a couple of genuinely curious things over the past month or so regarding tariffs. The first one being, which is a wild misreading of where Americans are, when he said affordable goods are not a God-given right of Americans, first of all. And then yesterday, after these massive tariffs were put in place, he said to China, to the EU, to world leaders who are obviously going to take it on the chin, basically, hey, guys, I know we're punching you in the face, but don't push back. Don't resist.
Right. Not likely. Well, as we've seen from China today, that had no effect whatsoever. The main country that Bessent had in mind when he said that, Joe, and I will say, we talk about how in this Trump 2.0 that Trump is less. He doesn't have guardrails around him, right? There were adults in the room in the first administration. Now there's no adults in the room. Scott Bessent is an adult. Scott Bessent is not just an adult, but if you look at his resume, what he's done, he is Gary Cohn 2.0. He's a globalist. He's a guy from Yale. He was a former professor of economic history at Yale who made his big mark in the hedge fund world by leading the London office of George Soros's firm back in 1992, when they made what at the time was one of the great successful bets in hedge fund history by betting against pound sterling when the European integration was happening around the EU, and they made $1 billion on one trade. That's all Scott Bessent, right? So when Trump puts Scott Bessent in the Treasury Secretary, the reason, as you said, that Wall Street and a lot of the business community, even if they don't necessarily know him personally, they think, well, this is Gary Cohn 2.0. Trump has got another adult in the room. Kevin Hassett, who runs the National Economic Council, also seen as a very conservative guy, but as someone who has a long history in economic policy in Washington, someone who's seen as an adult in the room also. Those voices those two guys are absolutely certain. I am certain, know that Donald Trump's reading of economic history on which all of this tariff policy is based, that somehow Smoot Hawley was a good thing and that the Depression would never have happened if we just stuck with a radically aggressive tariff policy. They know that that's ridiculous. Not just ridiculous, but totally 180 degrees out from reality. So, Doug Brinkley, I ask you, as not an economic historian, but a historian and someone who understands how politics works inside the White House and how personalities work inside the White House. What do you think is going on with Donald Trump, who through his whole life has advocated for tariffs, but also has used the stock market as a scorekeeper, and has loved the idea of the approval of establishment economic figures like Gary Cohn, like Scott Bessent, that he now has them all around him in the White House, but this time around is not listening to them at all and just feels as though he's going to do what he's going to do, and they seem to have no capacity to rein him in whatsoever. What's happening there?
I think President Trump got a history for beginners primer, because a lot of what he does is this superficial kind of understanding of American history. He'll read that George Washington liked tariffs. It was the second thing Washington did. He'll read Theodore Roosevelt said tariffs is what made the industrialization of the 19th century work. He's learned about William McKinley. One of his first things he did, of course, was get rid of Denali National Park and rechristen it after McKinley. And it's the same with the Monroe Doctrine. He's just learned about that this is our hemisphere, hence his interest in the Panama Canal. He's just learning how Secretary of State Seward under President Andrew Johnson acquired Alaska and what a smart deal it was. And he wants to do a deal to grab Greenland. He's moved James K. Polk's portrait into the White House. He wants to be an expansionist president. So he's taking these little talking points and strung it together and says, this is my way to be great. This is my way to be on Mount Rushmore. Bring jobs back to America, get factories humming in Akron or Flint or Gary, Indiana. And yet, we don't live in a snap finger age. I mean, what he's trying to unravel at the very least is the world, everything that occurred starting in 1942 with global finance, with GATT, with, WHO. You could go on down the list. He's undoing all of the work of America since 1942. And if he had his way, he'd go back to the 19th century. And so this is what you get with a president that has a history deficit disorder, misreads history, and then ends up wanting to try to become a Napoleon figure, somebody for the ages that can't do things incrementally, has to do things grand.
It's an unlikely James K. Polk revival. We have known, though, that President Trump is receptive to how his base thinks, right? Like, he has made a lot of moves because, like, this is what the base wants, this is what the base wants, this is what the base wants. A lot of what we're seeing right here from the tariffs are going to disproportionately hurt his base, people who have dedicated a decade of their lives to supporting him. What's your best guess here? Is if the base really starts to complain, I'm feeling this pain, is he going to respond or no?
I mean, I think at some point he will have to respond, but it'll be too late. He's risking becoming Depression Don. And just to speak personally for a second in terms of what this will do to his base, I am here because of tariffs, right? My family, my parents were born in India. In the 50s, 60s, 70s, India had the same fantasy that Donald Trump has now. We could just close off. It came out of the Gandhian thing. We just close off. Everything we have is here. Very high tariffs, sometimes over 100% on all kinds of things, right? Closed economy. We have everything we need. Well, you know what that actually did in India for decades was crush dreams, keep hundreds of millions of people in poverty. My parents and lots of other people were driven to other places searching opportunity, because if you had an idea, you wanted to start something, you wanted to do something, you had to create something, you had to leave India. The best place to be an Indian was any place outside of India. And India has now changed that in recent decades. Donald Trump is going to take his base and the rest of this country into that kind of world, going backward into that kind of world where you have something, a great thing you invented, a great farm product, and you can't develop it, you can't sell it, you can't be part of a world economy. Ideas get cut off. This is an attack on people's dreams. It's obviously an attack on people's bank accounts. It's failed. It's failed everywhere it has been tried. It's going to fail again. And the only silver lining is I think it will limit his ability to do damage to this country, because he is trying this incredibly unpopular form of authoritarianism.